All right. Welcome to the road to the advanced body class with me, Donnielle, and Dr. Anthony. And that's about as much structure as we have to this.
Yeah. So this is an exciting conversation because, when I get a chance to talk about and reflect upon like what life was like before Access, and then especially the very beginning of Access, the first 3 years, maybe even the first 4 years, it's really funny. I mean, I could do a whole sitcom on just the whole journey in and of itself and what I thought Access was about and what it ended up really being about for me. And all the way up until, my very first ABC was life changing. It was completely life changing for me. But I was such a silly little goose in the class. But the main thing I want to say is, right, there's prerequisites we have to fulfill before we get there, and that is for a reason. And, it is to prepare the space for us to be able to receive these amazing energies that these body processes have to contribute to our bodies and our being. And I'll never forget, I'm like doing these body processes, and I remember having these energies moving through my body, and I was actually quite scared, like, oh my God, I've done so many different techniques, so many different modalities. I've had gurus, I've done breath work, I've had all these supernatural experiences before, but I never perceived this level of intensity moving through my bodies. And so I was trying to control it. and like, I had a friend of mine, she's like, don't control it. She's like, turn it up. She's like, turn it up. And I'm like, okay. And then like all my muscles started moving, and it all started like in my butt muscles of all places. Like my gluteus maximus muscles were like, and I'm like, oh my God. And so, but what I started to realize, I'm like, oh my God, this is the energy. This is this level of potency that I've been desiring and always knew was available and possible, but I couldn't quite access it with any of the other modalities and tools that I'd used before in the past. And so I got to have fun with it, and I got to be with it. And not only did it change things in my body, but it began to open up and change things in my life. And the body processes just speak for themselves. That's it. They have their own individual, unique energies to them, and they just do their thing. They do their magic, and it's amazing. And then it's always built on and exponentialized ever since then.
And I love that you started talking about your first advanced body class, because I was there. I was hosting, and I remember you kind of were walking around with the look of what the hell just happened.
Yeah.
And I don't think I know anyone who doesn't, the first time they go to an ABC, kind of have that bemused look of like, um, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And, and something else you mentioned, Anthony, is we have the prereqs we do to prepare the body so we can do these energies.
Yeah.
And what was really cool is I also had the honor of hosting the very first advanced body class. And, some of you may have heard Gary talk about, the first time he let somebody come who only had one 3-day body class and it didn't go well and whatever. And I got to see that actually first person. He was at the table next to me, and he was not as comfortable, and his body was not as enjoying
Right.
the advanced body class. And it was really interesting because for me, this just really shows the specialness and amazingness of the body processes of Access.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had always argued, he's like, well, I've done all these other body modalities and stuff, so why should I have to do 2 3-day body classes? I'm sure it'll be fine, with only this one, and da-da-da. And Gary's like, all right, you can show up. Let's see what happens. And he's still in Access, and to this day, you can ask him, and he's like, oh, I wish I had listened to Gary. Yeah. Because there's something so unique about the Access body process that contributes to the creation of the body. Because one of the things I love about it is it doesn't create the body as a separate piece at all. Mm-hmm. It may be a body process, a hands-on body process, but it includes the infinite being. It includes everybody else's bodies, it includes everybody else's infinite beings. It includes the earth, it includes the universe and consciousness. It actually helps create and that invite you back to that oneness and consciousness instead of that separate. And so I think for me, that's one of the biggest things is it doesn't do the separation of the body because it's a hands-on body process. We're only working on the body. No, you're working on everything. Totally. So it's so amazing. Such a gift.
Yeah, big time. And, you know, even in our, the 3-day body classes that we facilitate, you know, there's body processes that have asterisks on them, right? And we're not supposed to run those processes on anyone who has not had the 3-day body classes, right? And it's so that, you know, because, you know, this is all about helping our bodies to receive, right? Because we've judged our bodies, we've separated from our bodies, we're aware of other people's judgments of our bodies, and then we have our judgments of our bodies, right? And these body processes helps us to create this space for us to embrace this kind, caring, nurturing, healing energies so that we're not in that space of judgment of ourselves. And even if people do project judgments towards us, it doesn't matter because we get to that space where we start accessing our very being, and we start enjoying our bodies, no matter what it looks like, no matter what color it is, no matter how tall it is or how short it is or how fat or how skinny or whatever. And it's like, wow, this is my body. And it's like, I love my body. And not only that, it's like, I'm actually a powerful, potent being, and I can actually contribute to this world. And to me, that's what these body processes actually create, is that space to access more of you, to be able to receive more kindness, nurturing, healing energy. And another thing too, is to also create that space where you become more vibrationally compatible with the earth as well. So it's just, and it goes on. And the beautiful thing about it is there's no limitation. There's no like endpoint, like there's no level to it, is what I'm trying to say. It just goes on and on and on and on and on. And that's what I love about Access.
Right. And there's no doing it. It's all about being. Yeah. And it's not even crossing anything off of your list. Because, you know, it's like I've been working with the body processes, excuse me, and facilitating body classes for 12 years now. Everyone is different. Every single one is different. I get to participate in, I get to facilitate. I know you guys have heard, you know, Gary and Dane and everybody say, oh, every class is different. Yeah. Even as you receive, the body processes are different. Because remember, every single time we do a pod POC, every time we do a body process, we're changing everything. And so you won't receive the body processes the same way because you have less points of view in your way. You have less judgments. You have more willingness to receive. You have so many different layers gone of different things. And it's such a gift. You know, it's to be able to continually receive these body processes is one of the most nurturing things I've ever chosen for my life and my body. Yeah. And I do mean my life and my body, not just my body.
Right.
Because it is that simultaneity between your body and your life.
Yeah.
And I love the potency that all of them have, right? From Restoration Communion with Earth or MTVSS, and oh, that's in Foundation. Yeah. One of the things I love about Access is if we give you some of the most potent things right from the beginning.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's unlike any other modality where it's like all the other modalities are like, this is where you start. This is level 1. There is no level 1 in Access. It's like, you know, we watch Gary and Dane get their bars ran every day. And that's Gary and Dane, right? But that's the first thing that we learn, right? So they've given us, to me, one of the most powerful tools in Access, which is receiving the bars. And it's not something you just do in the beginning of your journey. You do it for the rest of your life because of what it creates. And again, none of these processes, the bars, they don't reach a certain like level and then you're done. Or you're right. It's like the level of potency can go on and on and on. And you could actually even receive it for someone who's just learning it for the first time. They can change your and I's life, even though we've been in Access for 8, 10, 12 years or whatever, right?
And thank you for doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, because everybody has unique energies and everyone can actually contribute. And the other fun part about it is, as the giver gets to receive too, right? So it's not like you're just giving and then you walk away and it's like, oh, I just gave. No, it's like there's a gifting and receiving simultaneously, like you said, and very few modalities out there actually do that.
Yeah, you don't get spent. You know, I did like 6 sessions in a row the other day, and my sister's like, are you wiped out? I'm like, actually, I'm energized.
Yeah.
And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, actually, I'm very energized after having done all this, because there isn't that spending your energy.
Yeah.
It's a give, it's a receive, it's a contribution. And one of the things that I love is, for me, the body processes are one of those examples of how we truly are in oneness and consciousness, because it's like the one body process, BMM, right?
Yeah.
It's a potent one. It's a fun one. A lot of people run it. And when it first came out, we were able to when it first came out, we were not able to give this BMM process to the body process facilitators to teach an individual class. Because Gary's like, people who have not done a 3D body class, plain and simple, cannot receive this body process yet. So I know you guys like it. I know you want to give it to everybody, but it wouldn't be nurturing. And so then 6 months later, Gary gives me a call. He's like, all right, release BMM to the body process facilitators to be able to facilitate a class on. And it's not just because, oh, it's 6 months. And so, it's like enough 6 months. And so we've tortured them enough and now they can finally, ask for it. No. What occurred is, every single time we run a body process, just like the verbal processing, we assist people with changing everything everywhere. So those 6 months, whoever has run the body process BMM in that 6 months, they are unlocking and choosing for everybody everywhere, people you haven't even met. And you were able to choose enough, change enough, contribute enough that type of body process was more accessible by a greater number of people. So it truly is, you running a body process is not just about you and the body you're doing it with. It's about changing the world. And for me, that BMM story is really an example of that. It's like, okay, enough people have run this, that more energies are accessible, enough people have chosen, enough people have changed things, and that ripples out into the universe. And so it's like,
Totally.
I love that. I've never found that in any other modality.
Yeah, me too. And you say ripple into the universe, and I know a lot of people just hear like, oh, that sounds really cool. And it's like, no, like, it's like these energies go beyond just you and the person you're working on.
Or access people.
On. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's amazing. And it is a contribution, not only to the earth, to the planet, to the two individuals that are working on each other, but it actually goes into and even beyond into other universes and dimensions and realities. And, not to be all woo about it, but it does go that far. And it really, truly is a gift. And again, it's about creating that space so that we can learn how to receive. And then that's why everything's set up the way that it is, so that it can be a kindness when you finally do get to an ABC. So you don't get, some people can get overwhelmed. We say, will an infinite being ever be overwhelmed? No, but we do come with our points of view, right? And so, in a lot of times, we're not used to experiencing these different energies moving through our bodies. And sometimes we'll be like, oh my God, what is this? And what we do is we try to control it. That even shows up in our body classes, right? That we facilitate.
Oh, yes.
And I'll have to walk over to the person. I'm like, look, this is that potency, that level of potency called you, that you've been asking for. And now you're actually starting to perceive it moving through your body, and you're trying to sort of like control it. It's like, don't do that. Allow it just to do whatever it's going to do, no matter how silly it may look. And that's the same thing with the when you get to the ABC, the advanced body classes. And that's why it is advanced. And again, the more of us that choose consciousness, it's like a lot of those advanced processes will be sent down to like where we can facilitate them in our 3-day body class. And then Gary and Dane will get these new downloads for newer body processes. Why? Because more people are choosing consciousness on planet Earth. I mean, just take the abuse CD or the abuse recording, right? The clearing statement on that is like 20 minutes long.
Yes.
Right? So I don't know when they actually created that particular call. It was before my time, but it was like
about 15 years ago.
15 years ago. Okay. Yeah. So that was what the clearing statement was then. And now we have, right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, shorts, boys and beyonds. What was that? 4 seconds? And the one on the abuse MP3 was like forever. I'm like, what's he even saying? Right. But it was like the more people that chose consciousness, the shorter they were able to make the clearing statement, and it still created even a greater effect. Really
yeah. Cool. And that's one of the things I loved about Access is it was shorter, faster, more potent.
Yeah.
Because it's not that the clearing statement changed and we're eliminating those energies.
Right.
Enough people have chosen, enough people are doing consciousness and embracing it, that all of those energies are involved in the shorter speak.
Totally.
Because, when I first started, the clearing statement was everything that is, will you rescind, revoke, recant, reclaim, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate it all.
Yeah.
And now it's just, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Like, yay.
Yeah.
But all those energies are still there, and that's
They're
what
moving.
I love.
They're moving and grooving already.
Yeah, it's the concentrated. It's the concentrated clearing statement.
Yeah.
Well, and that's how the advanced body class was actually first started. Is Gary went, you know what? Enough people have done the 3-day body processes. Enough people have chosen. Enough people have demanded consciousness that these advanced body process energies could be revealed to people.
Yeah.
I know for a fact Gary had known about this for years, and people had been asking him, when are you going to do an advanced body class? When are you going to do an advanced body class? He goes, when I can. I can. Yeah. Then he literally came in and went, okay, enough people have done the 3-day body class, done the body processes, chosen enough, embraced consciousness. I can now reveal these. We're like, yeah.
Isn't that beautiful though? It's like there's a level of kindness there. You know what I mean? And allowance to say, hey, you know what? I know you're all excited about it, in due time. You know what I mean? And he places it right at a time where he knows we can receive it. And sometimes as much as we want more, it may not necessarily be the thing that's going to create greater in those 10 seconds. And so just to watch him be sort of, I hate to use the word, but patient, I guess. And I don't know, to me, that's just describes, what Gary is for us and Dane is for us, because we're like, look, we know you're excited about it, but it's not the time yet, and then eventually it's the time, and then it goes poof, just like that. And it's awesome.
Well, and I think it really is having our back.
Totally.
Because it is having our back, because they don't want to give us anything that would be unkind.
Yeah.
Or make us freak out in any way.
Yeah.
And I just love it. And just to see the evolution of the advanced body class, the body processes of that. I mean, every single advanced body class I've ever been to, and I've been to most of them, it's like Christmas morning.
Yeah.
Because you walk in and we're like, what you got?
Yeah, exactly.
What you got for us? Because, and how often they're like, oh, well, we had a conversation last night and now we're going to be doing this and blah, 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 blah. And we're like, woohoo. And my body will literally just tingle in excitement. Mm-hmm. And so it is, for me, it's like a Christmas morning. That's why I rarely miss any advanced body classes. Yeah. And like I said, I've been to quite a few of them over the past years. When was the first one? Like 2010, 11, somewhere around there. Anyways, So they're so fun. And that could be what you were talking about, the controlling the energy, Anthony, is like, we had one person send in a question and was talking about how they have often pain associated with body classes. And they were like, oh, does my body not want this? And I know for a fact, one of the ways that a lot of people have pain in their body with this is then they are trying to control it, trying to control the energy or the outcome or how it can show up, what it shows up as.
Yeah.
And so being out of control with that and just being like, all right, let's see what this brings up, without going, okay, well, this is what it's supposed to look like and this is supposed to how it feel. No.
Yeah. Yeah. And to me, you know, from my point of view is it's again, it's creating the space for you to have more of you. So it's like, how much have you been controlling more of you throughout your life? And every time you control more of you, it actually creates pain, right?
Yep.
And that's some of the new stuff that the guys had got to with regards to fracking the insanity of the thing that causes the pain, which is you just hiding your potencies and capacities. So again, when you come to an access class, regardless of what class it is, it's all designed for you to have more awareness of you, the potency of you. But people are afraid of themselves. You know, it's like, I can't be too much. You know, if I am all of me, what will that create? Oh my God, does that mean I have to leave my family or my kids? And they start head tripping, right? So they start putting a lid over their potency and capacity. And guess what that ultimately creates? Pain in the body. So it's like, take that lid off, have more of you. The world needs you. Your family needs you to have more of you. It's not going to show up the way you think it's going to show up. It doesn't mean you have to divorce your husband or your wife. It doesn't mean you have to divorce yourself from your kids. No, they will be included in that journey. And, you know, it's like, don't put a lid on it because it will hurt even more. And again, it's also designed to create more awareness. Your body is, you know, in our classes, we're trying to, for the first time, show people, hey, your body's just aware. It's trying to talk to you, but you're totally blowing it off. You're ignoring it, right? I mean, even in our BARS manual, it says 99% of our thoughts, feelings, and emotions don't belong to us. The end of the foundation manual now says 99,000%. So I kind of play a game in the class and I say, nobody's allowed to say their stuff belongs to them this weekend. For these 3 days, you're not allowed to say it. We get to explore two things, someone else's or something else. And it's amazing when we use the tools just to explore that area, people are like, oh my God, I didn't realize I had all this awareness. You mean that's what my body's been saying to me all these years? It's like, yeah, don't put a lid on you having more of you. Don't do that because it can cause pain and create the pain.
Emotional pain, physical pain, and everything in between.
Yeah.
And I love that, who does it belong to? Because, yeah, we do. It's easy for us to go, okay, well, yeah, thought, feelings, and emotions might not be mine, but this disease or pain or suffering is.
Yeah.
It's like, nope, what if 50 to 100% of all the pain, suffering, disease in your body never belong to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what if it's actually changeable?
Yeah.
That's one of the first things I really loved about the advanced body class was it was about opening doors to different possibilities. Yes, you can go in and like receive energies to help heal your body and shift things and, you know, that kind of dynamic. But it was also about what else is possible. Yeah. And the conversations had during a 3-day body class, an advanced body class, for me, have been some of the most potent, life-changing, consciousness-changing, dynamic, thrilling conversations I have ever had. And it's funny because I've talked to people about this and they're like, well, what else are you going to do while you're just laying there putting your hands on each other? Of course you're going to have these conversations.
Yeah.
But I like to pose a different possibility with that. What if instead, well, what else are you going to do? I'm like, well, what if that is when you are so present with the bodies, including the bodies, these bodies of amazing awareness and possibility, the keys to so much, that when you are in these classes, doing these body processes, present with your body, expanding these possibilities, that is when those conversations are possible.
Yeah.
That is when those energies can be accessed.
Yep.
And this, for me, is one of my favorite things about 3-day body classes or advanced body classes is the exploration of consciousness, and sometimes able to verbalize it for the first time. And I know it's because the body is present like never
Totally.
before. We are present with the body like never before.
Yeah. And I loved how you say like the energies that get accessed, because it's like once you access, no pun intended, access consciousness, but once you access those energies, it's like no one can ever take it away from you. No one. And, you know, and I always encourage people when they leave the class, and I'm like, please, like, acknowledge the energies that you've accessed this weekend, because, and you don't have to tell your family about it because they're not going to understand, right? You know, it's like, just for you, just for fun, don't tell anyone. And that's just not like, if you're shagging people, you're not supposed to shag, you know what I mean? You know, it doesn't mean just that, you know, it means, you know,
Now you tell me.
just for you, just for fun, don't tell anyone. Meaning, like, you know, it's like you're going to experience these levels of potency that people in this reality will be like, well, what are you talking about? And it's like, we are accessing these energies, and it's called more of us.
Yeah.
And when you have that tsunami of energy that becomes available to you and gets downloaded to your access, or you start to walk through it, however you want to look at it, it's like it becomes part of you forever. And it's always been there. It's just like, now we're like, oh, hi, right? And then you start to function from that space. And then people start coming up to you like, what are you doing? You know, it's like, did you lose weight? Did you get a haircut? Are you working out? I'm like, no. It's like, I have more consciousness now. You know, I don't say that, but it's like, yeah, thanks. But it's because they see that glow. They see that vibrancy. They see you actually being, right? It's that the being you, changing the world. It's like we don't have to say anything with our words, because we've accessed, like you said before, these energies through these body processes, through the potting and pocking, through the bars, through the willingness to be vulnerable and get facilitation, and, you know, and be willing to like strip it all down, warts and all, total allowance. It's like, holy God, I didn't know that all this amazingness was available for me. And it's like, wow. And it's because of the space that these processes create.
And the not controlling of how it should show up or what
Exactly.
it should look like.
Yeah. Because sometimes you may get your ass handed to you.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest with you. Sometimes, you know, and yeah, you know, it's not all like fluffy, duffy, warm and fuzzy. You know, consciousness isn't always like that.
Oh, no. As a matter of fact, at the advanced body class in Argentina, I had my ass handed to me by Dane. And you know what? I said, thank you.
Yeah.
And it honestly, and that was, so it's like my last advanced body class, I think, was that Argentina one. And I'd been doing Access for 11 years or whatnot. One of the most life-changing classes I have ever had was that class, that willing to be that vulnerable, that raw, that, okay, bring it. I am here to change me, change the world, contribute what I can, and bring it.
Yeah.
Just bring it. All right, let's go.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. And here's what's interesting is it wasn't anything about bodies. It was about being right and wrong.
Yeah.
But because I was even more willing to be, like I said, present with my body in a completely different way, which, you know, doing these all these years, I'm always every day present with my body in a completely different way. I was finally able to access those energies of where I'd been trying to do right and wrong. And it's so cool. A funny little personal story with this is, you know, like I said, I've been doing Access for about 11 years at that point. And so I had done a lot of clearing, a lot of pod pocking, you know, every day for 11 years. And we've had this conversation about right and wrong, right and wrong, right and wrong. It's the first two things of the clearing statement, right and wrong, good and bad, right and wrong. And it wasn't until those energies shifted in that advanced body class that I was able to actually recall how my father told me as a child, you are always wrong. You need to prove you're right. You're always guilty. You need to prove your innocence. And you evil and need to prove you're saved in the religious aspect. I had never recalled that until those energies were able to shift in the advanced body class.
Wow.
It was absolutely amazing. Like I said, I know these conversations are possible.
Yeah.
Because we are receiving with our entirety of our universe, which includes the body. And then from there, even the earth and consciousness itself and the energies, because it doesn't just stop with us in our bodies. It goes to the earth. Yeah. Everybody's body. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, and going back to the person who says their body gets more intense, it's like, yeah, when you lead these classes, you're going to be more aware. And you're going to be more aware of when the earth desires a contribution from you. So please listen. It's like, that's what we're trying to facilitate and provide you with these tools to listen more of what your body's saying. You're going to be more aware with access, not less aware. So can the intensities in your body turn up even more? Yeah, absolutely, because you're going to be more aware of what the earth is requiring from you. You're going to be more aware of what other people's bodies are requiring of you. And then you get to play with the energy flows. Be like, oh, that person requires some energy to be flowed to them. And you could just do it with total ease and not be suffering their pains in their body because you're not paying attention. You know what I mean? And yeah, so it's like, it's just more awareness, and it's great because it creates that space for us to access everything.
Yeah.
And as long as we don't have a point of view about it, it will make our lives so much grander and like literally ease, joy, and glory.
I love how people think that when we say we don't promise comfort, or like, you know, oh, they think we're joking. Oh, life might be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But, you know, but what's really been neat about this is I've personally made the demand to never cut off my awareness again. No matter how uncomfortable I get, no matter what I become aware of that I might not want to be aware of cognitively.
Yeah.
But what's cool about that is the body process has really assisted with the ease of that.
Yeah.
Because your body is one of those major sources of awareness. And so it's constantly giving information. So for me, a 3-day body class and advanced body class is also kind of like a spa for the body for the weekend.
Yeah.
It can have uncomfortable moments, but it is one of the most nurturing things I can give my body. Mm-hmm. And then from there, when I am out in the world or interacting with anybody and I become aware of their insanities, their judgments of themselves, of other people, of the world, of just whatever it is, and I am able to retain that space and not buy it. Yeah. That's the other thing, is you stop buying other people's judgments, even about themselves, let alone judgments of you, but even their judgments of themselves. And so that is really where you come in. All of life comes in with ease, joy, and glory. Because It's like, oh, I get to be aware of all this stuff and know none of it is real or solid or impacts me. I mean, my favorite thing is like, oh, you're judging me and it has nothing to do with me. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's like somebody judging you is rarely personal. I find that hilarious.
Yeah.
And really these body processes and that communion and connection that is created is one of the things that has given me the greatest ease when walking through the world. And then it is you walking through the world, being a facilitator. I don't care if you've ever facilitated an access class, doesn't matter. You are a facilitator of consciousness walking through the world, changing the energy as you move through. Yep. And including that oneness with your body. And that is that when people look at you and go, you're different, you go, yep. Yeah. Yeah. And that is part of it. It's just the energy that you be. I love that story Shannon tells. One of the reasons she first started doing access or taking access or facilitating access classes is she asked Gary, she said, you know that all those people in access have those shiny eyes. If I do access classes, will I have shiny eyes? And he's like, well, that's that enjoyment of themselves and that consciousness and that oneness and that ability to be happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and just that sparkle that is who we actually be. We be that sparkle.
Well,
We
again,
be that shiny thing, that bright, shiny thing that so many people go, oh, hi, what are you? Can I
yeah,
have you? What is
exactly.
that? What do you have that I have? Please?
Yeah. It's like, can I just touch your shoulder? You know what I mean? It's like,
Yes,
touch me anywhere you like.
I know. Do you guys ever find that the more you do access, the more people just want to stand next to you and you're like, hello?
Yeah. 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 It's funny. Even guys get uncomfortable. Even like straight men get uncomfortable around me. Why am I finding myself attracted to you?
Yes.
I'm not gay. And I'm like, it's okay, dude. It's all right. I receive it, man. I receive it. One thing I want to encourage people to, because again, um, it, the body processes will bring up your insanities too. Okay. So
Sorry. Yes.
don't like, so if you start to feel like your shit coming up while you're receiving, that's great. That, it's because it's a way of your body, number one, releasing it. Like, it's a way of your body releasing everywhere it's been stored and locked in your body, or either in your body or in your exoskeleton, as we talk about, right? But use that as an opportunity. Raise your hand if it's upsetting you. That's what the facilitators are there for. When you get to the ABC, if there's something that wasn't addressed in the 3-day body class with those facilitators, or you couldn't get to it, ask the advanced body process facilitators and look at it further and say, hey, this is what keeps coming up for me when I receive these processes, and celebrate that, because it's an opportunity for you finally to look at that place of unconsciousness and anti-consciousness that's still locking that very insanity in your universe. So don't think something's wrong because those insanities are coming up, or like past abuse is coming up. No, that's actually an opportunity for you to finally look at it and actually change it and create space around it once and for all. So that sometimes can happen too. So just letting you all know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Basically, anything that goes on in a body class is what's supposed to be going on.
Yeah.
People come to like, one day I was comfortable, the next day I was uncomfortable, and then I was comfortable, and then I had pain, and then I didn't have pain. And it's like, wait a minute, I'm feeling really good, but she's having pain. Does that mean she's getting more change than I am? Should I be having pain if I'm doing this? Or am I right? Should I be comfortable and she shouldn't be having pain? Is she doing it wrong? What's going on with this? Is like, how am I supposed to be and have and receive what in the body class? What should that be like? And it's like,
yes,
whatever's going on for you is what it's going to be like.
All the above.
Yep.
All the above. And that's awesome.
And you might feel you're manic, because in the same 5 minutes, you could be so excited, depths of despair, depression, everything else is possible. And then you want to run out of the room. You love your partner. You hate your partner. You love them touching you. Stop touching me. All in the same 5 minutes.
Yes.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. And a lot of it's not even yours. That's the funny part.
Yes.
Yes. So the road to ABC, my gosh, I mean, I could do 3 calls just on all the silly little things that I was along the way to my first ABC, and then even still ever since then. But it really truly is beautiful. I mean, I just realized, I was like, wow, I've been doing Access 8 years now. I'm like, where has the time gone? And
right?
it's like, creating your life, it's like, really, there is no such thing as time anymore. And I really feel like my life has just started. But like every day I feel like my life has just started. So and hey, if I can keep saying that all the way till the day it's time for me to leave this planet, at least this body no longer, be part of this planet anymore, or just in a different form, that is, that's cool. I'm cool with that, because time doesn't make any sense to me anymore. And it's because of these tools.
And then it's just that life started in a different way.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. And it's so interesting. And like Anthony said, we could do calls upon calls upon calls upon calls of miracles, of craziness, of stuff that you sit there and go, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was possible. And the best way to do this is to choose it. to leap,
Yeah.
to go.
Jump.
Yeah. And to the best of your ability, podpoc anything you think you should be getting or shouldn't be getting, or what you're there to get. Because if you truly go in with, let's see what goes on, let's see what's going to occur, let's see, the greater everything will be for you and for the world. Because remember, it's not just about you, it's literally about the world and consciousness itself.
So I know Simone and Jesus Christ, Grace. Jeez, like I'm having a brain fart here. I'm still on China time here in my head. They'll be doing the ABC in Washington, D.C. So that's going to be super, super cool.
I can't wait for that one.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah. So that's going to be a really exciting time and a great opportunity for people to come from all over the world to just come play and receive. And, you know, these body processes speak for themselves. You know, the energies are what they are, right? And to be able to receive it from different facilitators now that, you know, Gary has sort of passed the torch and all that, it really truly is a gift. Because I mean, Grace is Gary's daughter and Simone's been with Gary like by his side, what, for how many years now?
20 plus years, something like that. Yeah.
And Gary has this wonderful way of just sewing into us, his brilliance and everything he is, and to bring out more of ourselves. And so, you know, and it's like the people that work with him, the people that are by his side, it's like they all have this desire to sort of pay it forward, you know what I mean, and to pass it on and to pass it forward and to be the space for us that he was for them and for us, you know what I mean? And it truly is a gift. And really, and you know, it's exciting to be able to have those two gals come to that area to facilitate the class.
It's April 9th through the 11th in the Washington, D.C. area. You have a lot of the hosts of that ABC on this call if you guys have any specific questions about that. Yes, and people are asking, right now, the people who are facilitating the advanced body class is Gary, Dane, Grace, and Simone. I caught your brain fart.
And
oneness.
Someone's asking about the specific prereqs leading up to that. I'll let you answer that.
I just claimed a brain fart. Do you want me to answer? It is 2 3-day body classes, and I believe through COP. And one of those body classes needs to be within 5 months.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a new prereq. And can I just tell you, it is a great kindness. Yes. It is a great kindness because things are changing so fast, so dynamically, that even like I was so grateful for me and my body for that 5 months to be able to go to the advanced body class. And that's for everybody. It's like Anthony and I are 3-day body class facilitators, and we need to meet that prereq too. It's not like it's just a whitewash thing. So it's like, this is to actually prepare you and your body. And everybody I've ever talked to has been like, oh, I'm so glad for that. So it is. One of them needs to be within 5 months. I don't know, Lale, if I missed anything else. I know you're reading them. Okay. Those are the prereqs.
Yeah. Cool. And it is a kindness to, when they put these prerequisites in place, it is for a reason. It's to make it easier for you, ultimately.
Mm-hmm.
Can a 3-day body process class be from same facilitator? Yeah. So can those 3-day body classes be from the same facilitator? They have to be different. I forget.
Technically, they can be the same. However, let me just say really quickly, because one of the other questions is being able to facilitate things. Okay. So to attend the advanced body class, yes, technically you can have the 3-day body class from the same facilitator. Okay. However, if your target is to become a body process facilitator, you need 2 3-day body classes from 2 different facilitators. Okay?
Right. You want to
That's where some of the confusion gets in.
if you want to do like the 1-day body class workshops, but if you want to be a 3-day body class workshops, then you need three 3-day body facilitator classes with 3 different facilitators.
If you want to be a 3-day facilitator.
3-day, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So it's like, technically, yes, you can go to the same facilitator to do same facilitator for a 3-day body class to go to the advanced body class. But I say, try on other energies, because it is such a gift. I will go to the 3-day body classes of my friends and fellow facilitators just for the fun and enjoyment of it and the gift that they are, because each one of the 3-day body class facilitators is so unique, such a different contribution to energies, to awareness, to the furtherment even of the body classes. So it's like, while you can go to the same 3-day facilitator for the advanced body class, I do highly encourage trying out different facilitators so you can receive different things and just get different flavors and tastes and just really experience different things and have a good time. So I know that's a little confusing. I'm sorry. That's why I try to explain it very quickly or very easily, simply. And to be a facelift facilitator, you need 1 3-day body class, which is another thing. But it's all spelled out on the website somewhere. Yeah. I know Lale put in the advanced body class prereqs and stuff like that. Wait, does one have to be a CF to be a 3-day body class facilitator? Yes. You have to be a CF, a certified facilitator, to be a 3-day body class facilitator. Oh, and Lale put in text everything we just talked about. You're the best. And then Grant put in there how to become a body process facilitator, which includes the facelift facilitator. That information's on the same page. So you guys are awesome. Which, by the way, Lale Grant, is Grant a host of the ABC? Yeah. So both Lale and Grant are both 2 of your hosts for the advanced body class with Grace and Simone in April 9th through 11th. So if you have any questions, please ask them. They tend to know a lot about everything with that class. Oh, and the amazing Julia. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Did I miss anybody else?
I'm out of the loop there. Yeah, no, I think that covers it all.
Okay, cool.
Awesome. Thanks for playing.
You guys, and thanks for playing with Anthony. Anthony, I love chatting with Anthony. We have a good time. We giggle.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right, cool. So.
Yeah, the road to ABC, baby. Go play.
It's an adventure. It's a journey, and let us know how it goes.
Yeah. Sweet. Hope to see you around the world.
Oh, thanks, Ronnie. Thanks, Kari. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Bye. Anthony. Thanks, Teresa and Lale and everybody who organized it for us. You guys are awesome.
Ciao.
Oh, and Vivi for translating. Oh, my gosh. Vivi, I'm a translator groupie. You guys are freaking amazing.
So grateful.
She's translated in Portuguese, so.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.